Carl Benjamin is my friend. Sargon of Akkad is my friend. Know this before you watch this video. Also know that I know him well, and I have known him for many years. And I feel compelled to put off the other videos I was going to put out today to do my best to address what appears to be some sort of coordinated effort between the Spurgs and mainstream media for whatever reason to now smear the man. And I want to talk first about an article that appeared in the fucking Times, which is just about the most slanderous piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life. And I know I ask this a lot, but if you watch this video and you feel like I feel, please make sure to share it, to share the tweet. Feel free to upload it to your channels. I don't care. Okay? This is peak yellow journalism, and it's absurdly disgusting. And we're going to look at this. While Carl was here, he was reached out to by a dickhead named Jamie Mack. Hi, Carl. We're going to run a story about you in this weekend's paper. In it, we will state the following. In a podcast in February, you accused an alt-right members of acting like a bunch of blank. You called them blank and blank. You also said white people are meant to be polite and respectful to one another. And you guys can't even act like white people. Screenshots are circulating, I wonder from who, online, and comments made by Paul Joseph Watson suggesting that UKIP was aware that you had made these comments before admitting you into the party. You tweeted, I wouldn't even, to MP Jess Phillips. Like, this is from 2016, and they are still trying to use this. And of course, I know where this is coming from. But, you know, we've got the people who apparently care about nothing in the world are really invested in feeding information to these pathetic liars. You spoke at the UKIP conference on Friday through pre-recorded message. The message is shown on the main stage, blah, 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 blah. Please call me, as it is a matter of urgency. You can see Sargon's actual reply. I'm afraid I'm in the U.S. at the moment, so I can't call, but I'll give you my comment here, which I expect to see reproduced in full. The fact that they're talking about me and not the issues reflects the broader cultural malaise that affects modern Western democracies. The above mentioned are not crimes. They are offenses against political correctness. They have been taken out of context in which they were used as an attempt to smear my character. No focus is given to the number of people who thank me for helping them feel they are not alone in the resistance of political correctness, the charity I've done in my online community, or the arguments that I've made for a more close focus on the principles of British liberalism. Trial by public opinion was certainly one of the main factors that caused Brexit and Donald Trump, and it is as if political embellishment has learned nothing. The media's lack of attention paid to its arguments is why the alternative influencer network on YouTube and other social media platforms is growing every day. We talk about the issues, not 3-year-old tweets. We Are the Mainstream has avoided long-form conversations in favor of short sound bites and gotcha reporting, such as this very article. The alternative media is growing because of the useful content they produce, and this trend will continue. So let's see what the article. Look at that. Look at this fucking headline. You can just say whatever you want about Jamie Mack, apparently, as long as you put quotations around it. Furry. I think Jamie's a furry. Furry Jamie McWhirter also is linked to a wide variety of other offenses that, well, I just can't give you any evidence of. But it's just in quotations. Racist troll who sent a bad word tweet addresses UKIP members. An internet troll who has been accused of by his opponents of acting like a bunch of white blank. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jamie. Why did you blank it out there but not here? Interesting. He sent to the Labour MP, Jess Phillips has addressed activists at the UKIP conference. Carl Benjamin, 39, who uses Sargon of Akkad, is a political commentator who has gained. They always obsess about the following, and this is really transparent, okay? This is their jealousy. This is always about the reach that they are losing and the reach that we, the commentating community, whether you're left, you're right, you're in the middle, are taking from them. This is the exact thing I talked about very nervously and anxiously on stage at MythCon. He joined UKIP in June as the party's attempt to attract younger, internet-savvy supporters. They don't know that, by the way. They say they couldn't possibly be that he was actually interested in joining UKIP. He addressed the UKIP conference in Birmingham on Friday via video message shown on the main stage. He's also set to appear in the party's youth conference on November 10th. His role raises new questions about the direction UKIP is taking under leader Gerard Batten, who came under fire from Nigel Farage last week for his support of the EDL founder Tommy Robinson. Benjamin gained notoriety in 2016 when he was accused of instigating a misogynistic trolling campaign against the Labour MP from Birmingham Yardley. I wouldn't even enjoy you, he tweeted at Phillips, prompting a deluge of threatening tweets against her, and including all sorts of threats from his followers. By the way, doesn't include any of them. By the way, doesn't include when Jess Phillips was interviewed about it, she said she didn't even care, that she was in the garden with her family or grandchildren, right? They are offended on her behalf, and they are using a woman, by the way, as a political pawn to write slanderous hit pieces against their political opponents. Caroline Jones, the Welsh Assembly member who quit the party on Wednesday over her opposition to the party's, quote, lurch to the far right under Batten, said, Farage never would have allowed Benjamin to join the party. There were standards then. UKIP said Batten had invited Benjamin to speak at the panel at the EU as a subject matter expert, and that he was not an official party representative. He said some distasteful things in the past, but the vast bulk of what he says is very sensible. Right. We all say things at times when we're heated, right? And I'm sorry. Where is the quote? Where is his? You didn't even include it, did you? You didn't even include it. And people took him to task for that, saying, we've reached peak yellow journalism. The Times blogger accused shithead Jamie Mack contacts Sargon for comment in a context-devoid hit piece, receives one, then fails to publish any of it, claiming there isn't enough space despite it being an online article. To which he replies, hey, I'm not a blogger. The story appeared in yesterday's Sunday Times and was then uploaded to the website. Including Sargon's full comment as he demanded would have taken up more than half the article. We included the important bit, though. Hope that clears it up for you. So important to who? Important to who? You did almost no fact-checking, including no context, and targeted someone because you disliked their politics and the fact they joined UKIP. This is yellow journalism. I called you a blogger because journalists have a code of ethics, and you failed to show it. Then asked for what he got wrong, and he's told. And then, of course, you see the article spinning onto then now London Economic. Revealed. Bizarre views of UKIP's sinister rising stars. Again, no quote here. He thanked Gerard Batten for inviting him to speak and slammed the media for scaremongering about UKIP being an evil far-right party. Benjamin said that he had joined the party to take a stand against communists in our university, Islamists in our northern towns, and the censorious MPs. So they have the actual quote. Unfortunately, Jamie didn't include that either. In fact, he just lied about it, because at least the London Economic went and found the actual quote. The controversial YouTuber is part of War Plan Purple, the social media drive to make the beleaguered UKIP more populist and bring in fresh, younger supporters. In a recent live stream, he repeatedly used the N-word, telling alt-right listeners that they should act like who white people. That's not how white people act. Again, taking everything out of context, right? Context that was easily provided, easily available. If they had waited, they could have just waited a few minutes. You can see, you open with his white comment, but failed to point out his opponents were alt-right ethno-nationalists who were directly comparing to the very thing they hate using their own rhetoric. It's akin to you complaining about someone calling Hitler a Jewish slur. How hard is that to understand? I mean, I understand Benjamin has made a name for himself on YouTube where he airs misogynistic views, such as defending Elliot Rodger as a poor effing guy who had no option. Right, you take that, describing Harvey Weinstein's victims as gold-digging whores. You're not quote mining at all. You have all of this room, and you also chose to not include any kind of quote. And the sickening part is I know they're getting fed all sorts of this stuff from people who claim to not care about anything. Well, they seem to look like they care about a lot right now. And look, Carl Benjamin is my friend. Sargon of Akkad is my friend. He's been in my home. We have known each other for years. I know what they say about him is not true. I know what they say about him is fabricated and devoid of context because they are afraid. They are afraid that there is momentum building in a party that they disagree with politically, and they are willing to lie to try and dampen that. Well, just like how that worked for Hillary Clinton, I can't imagine this blowing up in your face. And when you start to smear people like Dankula, who is a friend of mine and I've known for many years as well, I get a little interested. Maybe I'm going to be paying a little more attention to UKIP, and maybe I'm going to do a little bit more to support their cause. And maybe if people in this video are sick of yellow journalism and lying for political gain, maybe they're going to take more interest in UKIP. Maybe they're going to share this video all over Twitter. Maybe Jamie, accused shithead, you are going to get a little bit of blowback from this. I wonder why that might be.